Hello class, my name is Kimberly Stern and I am going to be doing my Module 2 discussion board for PET 3325 on fractures, exercise, and bones. So, can adult bones grow due to exercise? The answer is yes, they can grow. They grow in density, they don't grow in length, so it's appositional growth. And the reason they grow is because the stress placed on the bones by exercise acts as a stimulus for calcium production in the bones. The specific changes in the microscopic anatomy of sponge bone in response to exercise, there's actually an interesting 8-week study done on mice to see the effects of climbing exercise on their bones, and the results showed an increase in trabecular bone formation, which is spongy bone. So based on my expectations, I would expect a weightlifter to have thicker, heavier arm bones than a jogger because there's more mechanical stress placed on the upper limb bones of a weightlifter compared to a jogger. What effect does sedentarianism have on bones? Well, osteoporosis. Basically, if you're not going to use your bones, a lot of times you end up losing density, causing osteoporosis, brittleness, weakness in the bones. A good way to combat osteoporosis would be by weight-bearing exercises, strength training, weightlifting, even jumping, dancing, running, walking. Those are all good exercises. The American Heart Association recommends about 150 to 300 minutes of moderate exercise a week, or 75 to 150 minutes of intense exercise a week for optimal bone health. The changes that occur during osteoporosis in the bones is that the bones become brittle and break, like I mentioned before. And how likely you are to develop osteoporosis depends on how much bone mass you acquired or attained in your peak. It also can have affect your ethnicity, can also affect your bone mass. And what type of exercises are recommended for people who have osteoporosis? Well, first, I would consult your doctor, but some recommended activities would be strength training exercises, especially for the upper back, weight-bearing exercises, flexibility, stability exercise, as well as weight training and resistance training. Okay, so why would people suffering with osteoporosis more likely have a broken hip as opposed to a broken shoulder? Well, if you think about it, the hip requires more weight loading than the shoulder does. And if they're both the shoulder and the hip are both weak, but if the hip has more weight on it, it's going to be more prone to be broken. And explain how bones withstand tension and compression. So at all levels, bone is actually highly adaptive to loading and regulating its structure according to the components of its loading regime. Okay. And why are stresses to the side of the shaft in a long bone more likely to cause a fracture than in the long axis? Well, as you can see here in the side, if it were to be fractured from the side, there's like an empty hollow space here. So it's going to be easier for it to be fractured. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.